Welcome to the Wisdom Lifestyle Money Show. I'm your host, Scott Dillingham. The show is designed to help Canadians invest better in Canada and the United States. We specialize in mortgage financing and education in both countries. Discover how you can become a better investor and access the financing you need. Welcome back to the Wisdom Lifestyle Money Show. I'm your host, Scott Dillingham, and today we have Jennifer Champion and Christine Traynor with us today. So welcome.
Hi, Scott.
Hi. So we wanted to talk to you today because we see this all the time. Obviously, as lenders, we see clients go direct to their lender, or we see them go direct to a broker who lacks experience. And that causes a lot of issues. So we really wanted to highlight, in this episode is about the benefits, and we're going to list some examples of why going with the correct broker who's tapping into your multifamily financing and what that could look like. Not only from a financial standpoint, but just ease of application and avoiding these mistakes. So I'm going to start today with an example. So there is this investor who has rehabbed the whole property, and now it's 57 units, and he rents it to a large tenant. Now, this client went direct to his major bank where he gets his banking from, and they offered him a $13 million loan at first. Now, once they discovered that it was one tenant, it was a corporation that's renting all 57 units, and then they rent them out, right? They sublet them under that. Once that was discovered, this lender said, no, that won't work. Okay. So they came to us and we got it all priced with the lenders and everything. And it's looking like they should be able to get around 1.6 million. So $3 million more, better rates as well. From what he's telling me, he was saying, mid fours, or we're below, 1% below that. So that's a massive difference as well for his property. And then come to find out, they declined him because of everything being on one lease, where we had spoke to the lenders and confirmed with CMHC that all of that was fine. And so the deal is working out. So obviously there's still due diligence and documents and different things like that that's needed to finalize his file. But what a drastic difference, right? Saving 1% of the rate, getting 3 million more in lending, and going from a no event right to a yes. So that's a massive, massive difference that having that expertise and additional lenders bring to the table. And Christine and Jen, I'm going to turn it over to you guys, but I know you have tons of examples like this. So I'd love to hear from you. It doesn't matter who's first, but let's talk about some of these challenges and wins that you guys have seen out there.
Okay, thanks, Scott. I'll jump in with a couple examples here from this end. So one of the things that we see quite often is different lenders have different appetites at different times in the market for different types of loans. Might be like, we're not doing that type of lending right now, but we've got other lenders that will. So if you are going direct to that lender and they're not interested in doing a construction loan, for example, they might say, we're not going to do this deal. But by working with a broker who has access to multiple lenders, you can get it done. One example that we see often too is different locations. So sometimes certain lenders aren't interested in lending, let's just say $1 million in a certain location, or even just $1 million in general might be too low for them. But we do have a pool of lenders that will lend. So I think you just get so many more with a broker who has access to multiple lenders. The other thing too is that a lot of lenders that we have access to don't work direct with consumers. So you can't actually access that lending, period, if you don't go through a broker.
Yeah, that's a great point. You're right. I actually forgot about that. But I think more than half the lenders will not work with the client. It's literally only through the broker.
Yeah, especially in the commercial space.
Yeah. Yeah. So thanks for sharing that, Christine. Jennifer, what are some examples you have?
I think just in terms of like working with an investor focused broker, like Christine and I are both investors ourselves, just having like that lens on looking at, refinancing your portfolio or new purchases moving forward, and being very strategic with the lenders you're using, the approach you're taking, conventional, CMHC, MLI Select, and just sort of like working with a broker who has that overarching goal in mind for your portfolio, instead of, let's get this one deal done and then move on to the next, and not sort of have that like forward vision.
No, I agree. I agree. And people don't always know what's not there. So what I think is if you're somebody who's listening to this and your gut instinct is like, let's go to the bank, right? I have all my banking there. They know the product. Just give us a call. Like it's just literally a strategy call. And I'll give another example, right? So I know before the call we were talking about this client of ours who he has a large multifamily commercial property, portfolio, and he kept going to the bank. Now he's not anymore, but the bank offers CMHC, right? Multifamily insurance. So he could have got a 40-year amortization, 85% loan to value, all that good stuff. But what the bank was giving him was just conventional loans. And they weren't even doing it. And the bank offers this, like the bank that he went to offers CMHC. So once he discovered that this is the thing and he can move forward with it, he got so excited. So he told his bank, you know what, I'm canceling. I want to do like the CMHC applications with Scott. I don't want to do these conventional deals. It doesn't make sense. And they're like, oh, we do those too. And so like I was dumbfounded. Like, why would you not offer that to the client from day one when he's building his portfolio? Right? Why would you put him in these things with 25-year AMs at 75 LTVs, which is exactly what he got on all of his properties? When he could have got way more, right? He'd have more funds in his account so he could leverage better, purchase additional properties, stronger cash flow with that 40-year amortization. And it just doesn't make sense. So like even the banks that offer this program, I think they're taking the easy path, right? And they're not going down this pathway. And it costs the client who knows, how much in interest too, because conventional loans are much higher and interest expense than CMHC loans. So I think it's always good to speak to an expert. So we are going to put the links in the bottom of the show notes. So if anybody wants to book a call with Christine, Jen, myself, doesn't matter, book that call. Will help you out, even if it's literally just a conversation. And right now it's the middle of June. So I also want you to know that from now until the end of July of 2025, we're actually having a raffle. So by doing a pre-approval or portfolio review with us, you're going to be entered in to win a cruise in February. It's a Caribbean cruise. I think it's 7 days. Maybe it's 8 days actually. I forget, but it's literally in February. We're giving it away. So get in your pre-approvals. Let's get you into enter the contest, and let's help build your portfolio the right way. Now, before we go and sign off for the day, Jen and Christine, do you have any other examples or things that you want to touch on? No? Okay. Well, that's it then. So everybody have a great day. Tune in next week. We're going to have a lot more good content for you guys, and we'll see you soon. Welcome to the Wisdom Lifestyle Money Show. I'm your host, Scott Dillingham. The show is designed to help Canadians invest better in Canada and the United States. We specialize in mortgage financing and education in both countries. Discover how you can become a better investor and access the financing you need.